Hey, what's up, you guys? Chelsea Briggs here, hanging out at the Billboard Hot 100 Festival, and I'm joined by Olivia O'Brien.
Hi, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you. And please, we just had a conversation about throwing our phones, and so please don't throw the microphone. I know it might get, I know you're passionate.
No, I just, when I talk, I feel like I always talk with my hands, and I somehow
Same.
always end up not just dropping my phone, but full force, throwing it somewhere.
yeah.
So I'm trying to not let that happen because there's definitely a giant body of water behind me. So fun.
But yeah, you just got off stage a little bit ago. How was
Yeah.
it performing today?
It was awesome. The crowd was amazing. They were super passionate and just screaming every word. It was amazing. I was not expecting that because I don't know. I never expect people to know the words to my songs. It's always kind of shocking. So it's fun.
What has been the best compliment you've gotten from a fan in regards to the music that you're putting out there right now? Because you are newer in the industry, so it's got to be so cool for you to realize you're having an impact.
Yeah, I mean, I just put out a new song called UDK a couple weeks ago, and the number one comment that I've been getting, or my favorite comment at least, is that it's more mature than my other stuff, and that people are kind of noticing what I'm noticing in myself is that I'm growing into myself and finding my sound, and it's just satisfying to put something out and have people react in the way that you want them to, and how you feel about it.
Well, it's also cool because it's your fans are growing with you,
Yeah, no,
and they're
definitely.
relating to you on that level. I love that song UDK. It's you're definitely clapping back at your haters, which I very much appreciate.
Yeah.
What's your advice to fans maybe that are going through dealing with haters?
Honestly, I do get affected by hate a lot. I don't get a lot of hate, but when I do, it just it depends on what mood I'm in. Can't talk. It depends on what mood I'm in, because if I'm happy, it doesn't affect me at all. But if I had anything go
bad
wrong that
day,
day,
even,
I'm maybe they're right. But what helps me get over it is just knowing that especially if it's on the internet, it's someone that doesn't know you. They're behind a screen. They're hiding from you. No one would go up to you and say that to your face.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just, it's not worth it. It's not something that you need to trip over.
Yeah, you're and I write a song about it, so you know that I'm not messing around.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first songs you released, obviously, I Hate You, I Love You with Nash, was in the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100. That's huge, massive. How does that feel for you as an artist, and has it put pressure on kind of the music that you're working on right now?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely it launched me into the music industry. That was my first song I ever put out, so I hadn't even been in a real session before I released that song. So it was definitely, it was huge for me. It was everything for me. And then from there, I had to figure out okay, now how do I make a song? What do I do? Because it happened on really truly on accident. So, but since then, it's been I'm almost, I think 3 years since the song came out. And it took me about this long to really figure out my sound and what I want to do and what I want to say. So I think I'm finally there.
It's a process, though, really
definitely.
figuring out that voice. What would you say is your voice? What do you want fans to take away from being a fan of yours?
I just I have Be Honest tattooed on my wrist.
I love that.
I just want to be as honest as possible and talk about how I feel, because I think we all feel the same emotions as humans, and it needs to be talked about because a lot of people can't put their feelings into words, and I'm lucky enough to have the gift of being able to do that. So I want to share that with people and let them know they're not alone, and we all feel shit.
I love that too, because I feel like we're in such need of just strong, independent female role models in this industry as musicians. So congratulations on that and really kind of working towards that. Who's someone that's been a big influence for you and has really inspired you to kind of, be a better person, be a better musician?
So many. There's so many. Well, growing up, I always say this. My mom would always play Beyonce, Alicia Keys, India Ari, just strong female empowerment. I don't know. I've always been about that. And there's so many for me. Even Rihanna, she just has this crazy
She does not
attitude.
care.
She doesn't give,
I love it. We can all learn from Rihanna, right?
She's amazing. So it just, a lot of women inspire me. I'm anyone who's just out there doing it, putting themselves out there is an inspiration to me.
That's awesome. And what are you working on right now? What can you tell us about the music that you're cooking up in the studio?
Well,
and will you be releasing some stuff soon?
Yeah, I'm trying to release a new song every 6 weeks-ish. So we'll see what happens. I have a full album just kind of sitting there waiting to come out. My next song I think I'm releasing in mid-September. It's called I Don't Exist. I actually played it today. It's one of my favorites.
Can you tell me what it's about?
It's about being in LA and people just kind of ignoring you and having their own social circle. It's feeling like an outsider, kind of you literally don't exist. And I don't know. I mean, it's not just about LA. It's about anywhere.
Yeah.
But a lot of my songs, that's where I live. So it's becomes kind of
Of course,
LA-centric.
that's what you're living. That's what you know. Can you sing a little bit of it for us right now? Putting you on
It's
the
like I don't exist, nah. Like I don't exist, I don't exist.
I love that. That's so awesome. So look out
you.
for that. That's exciting. A couple fun questions really fast. I'm going to ask you a little, just some rapid fire. Who's your celebrity crush?
Ryan Gosling for sure.
Ah, so good. The Notebook.
Oh, and Harry Styles.
Oh,
I've always
girl,
loved One Direction.
they just have swag, you know.
I love them.
What's your spirit animal?
Probably a dolphin or ocelot.
A what?
It's like a mini cheetah kind of.
Wait, a mini what?
Cheetah. It's like a cat.
Okay.
It like lives in trees. Anyway.
Okay. Wait, why though?
I don't know. I just like them. They're cute and they like are cute. I don't know.
Okay. We're at the Billboard Hot 100 Festival. If you could have 100 of anything, what would you want?
$100 million. Like 100. Like a check for $1 million. I'll have 100 of those.
Perfect. And if one song played every time you walked into a room, what would you want it to be? Like, what would be your go-to?
Independent Women Part 1 by Destiny's Child.
Yes. And what would be your dance when you'd walk in that door? What would be your swag?
I don't know. I think I just have to like own it. I just have to like, like a little hair whip and just be like, like posing a little.
You're like, I'm here.
Like I walk a little, then I stop and like have everyone look at me,
I love it. Awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out
Yeah,
with us.
thank you for having
Good luck with
me.
everything. Girl power all the way. And we'll see you soon.